Hello, middle school families. I'm Ryan Bell. I am the middle school principal, and I am going to give you a little information about the virtual learning experience for the 2021 school year. So I think one of the important things to keep in mind is that, under these circumstances, it is really, really important that our families and our teachers and our administration all come together to ensure the best quality learning experience for our students. And I think that this pandemic really creates an opportunity for us to come together and really recognize our strengths as a community. I think that it also gives us an opportunity to teach some really important skills for our students so that they become more self-sufficient and they become in control of their learning, which ultimately we know leads to better outcomes. So again, like I said before, it's really, really just an important time that administration, parents, teachers, and students that we all have real high levels of communication with one another, and that we take a team approach to helping our students succeed. So this is a really, really important piece for us is our attendance. The first 20 days of attendance is really, really important because our funding is tied to attendance. And we know that funds help us keep teachers, help us keep resources, and provide the best experience for our students. So we will take attendance every morning in homeroom. This will be via Zoom, so our homeroom teachers will take attendance in our Power School program, and students will also click on a Google form, and they will take attendance there as well. So this will be submitted during the morning meeting. If a student is absent, so these morning meetings are synchronous lessons, so they are live lessons, so we're expecting students to be there. If they are absent from that live lesson, but they are still participating in activities later that day, then you want to make sure that you email that homeroom teacher and attendance@icimagine.org and give the reason, give an explanation of why your champion is not there in that live session. We understand that there are a variety of different circumstances that could keep your child from attending those synchronous lessons, but they're still engaged in learning that day. So, and if they are absent for some reason and they're not going to participate, go ahead and let us know that, they won't be doing any school that day. But we need some two-way communication in addition to the Google form to count a student present in this virtual learning world. All right, so here is our virtual learning schedule, and I'm going to kind of walk you through this. So first of all, from 8 to 8:45 on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, our teachers will be available to meet with students via Zoom. So they do have office hours. They will be available. They're expected to be there, and just note that if your child needs some help, they can get it there. Then at 9 o'clock, we're expecting all students to log in to their morning meeting with their homeroom teacher. And this is, again, is a live session. And so they'll be taking attendance during this time. They will be doing check-ins on Mondays and check-outs on Fridays. And teachers will be helping them just kind of prepare for the week, and then on Fridays they'll be circling around and making sure students are completing their work on time and just helping them navigate emailing their teachers and really helping them with executive functioning skills. On Tuesday and Wednesday in morning meeting, they will be working on social emotional lessons. Those are based on the Second Step program, but our morning meeting team is actually spicing those lessons up and making them exciting for our middle school champions. Thursday, we will focus a little bit more on some current social justice issues that are happening in our society. So we're pretty excited about this morning meeting. It is I think that the pandemic has created it's created a situation where our students need those social emotional skills more than ever, and we're recognizing that, and we're going to make sure that we do our best to meet our students' social and emotional needs. So now Monday and Tuesday, these are going to be live lessons. And so what we've done is we've taken our 7-period class day and we've broken it down over 2 days to allow our students to focus on fewer classes in a given day. So on Monday, they will participate in their first, third, fifth, and seventh periods during these corresponding times, and those will be live lessons. Again, if your child cannot attend the live lesson, our teachers are going to be recording or preparing other asynchronous lessons for your children to participate in, but we really want to get them on a schedule and get them communicating with their teachers and fellow classmates. We feel like that that's something that everyone was craving in the spring when we did this, and it's important that we have some connection and have those live classes. And then on Tuesday we have this 8th period, and then we have a variety of different things that we can do during this time. So if your child has an IEP, they may be getting additional support from their EC teacher here. We can also create some office hours for some students. There may be some small group instruction, and your child may not be participating in any of those, and they may just be working on other schoolwork during that time. It may also be a good time for them to get out and get some movement or practice one of their fine arts. And then at the end of each day, again, we have our office hours. So now on Wednesday and Thursday, they go back to basically following the same schedule that they had on Monday and Tuesday, only these are asynchronous lessons. So we really encourage your students to stay on their schedule so they get a rhythm, but they do not have to engage with their teachers. So that there is some more flexibility on these days, but middle schoolers really need that structure. Really, we all do. But yeah, again, we encourage you to stay on your schedule, and those lessons will be asynchronous. And then on Friday, we are making sure that our students have some additional lessons in math and ELA. We recognize that students are not in class as much as they would be if we were in person. And so we're really emphasizing the importance of our math and ELA. So again, they will have another asynchronous lesson in math and English language arts on Friday. This 12:30 to 1:30 time on Friday is an opportunity for students to finish up any work, and then they could also have some office hours. They may also be participating in a fine art that meets during this time as well. And then on most Fridays, we will either have our house meetings or clubs. We're still working those clubs out and house meetings out and what those structures look like, but those will begin to happen after a couple of weeks of school. So that is kind of a general overview of our virtual learning schedule. Again, it does have a blend of both synchronous and asynchronous lessons, which really try to balance the amount of work that we're asking students to do at home. You can see it's still a full day for our students, and we're hopeful, based on all the feedback that we have, that we'll be able to meet our students' needs with this schedule. And so our virtual learning schedule, we've shared this with you, but I think we were in crisis mode in the spring, and now we've given this a go, and we have a better understanding of how to meet our students' needs. So we moved from a reactive to a proactive plan. Again, we've gone from completely asynchronous to blending asynchronous and synchronous opportunities. Last year we focused on review and practice of concepts that they already had. Now we are going to be teaching new content. We actually will be grading them on the new content. We are using Google Classroom again, but we are going to do more training for our students and try to streamline things for them so it's less confusing and overwhelming. We will be spending the first couple weeks, especially in our homerooms and in classes, getting to know our students and training them on these platforms. Last year we had 7 daily login requirements, and this year we're reducing those, again, to keep it from being too terribly overwhelming for our students. We are providing a structured daily schedule for your students. Last year, grades did not count during virtual learning, whereas this year our graded coursework will count. Last year, attendance did not count. This year, we are reporting our attendance, and attendance is required for our students. We do have one-to-one. We were one-to-one in middle school last year. We are still one-to-one, so all of our students will have a device. We are also prepared to help families that need it with Wi-Fi access. So if you're one of those families, please reach out to us so that we can help you make sure that you have good, solid internet access. And last year, we were not having any students in the building. This year, we do have a plan to start bringing in our most at-risk students first, and then phasing our students back in our building as we monitor metrics and see what the virus is doing in our community. And you know, once it is safe, we will start bringing students back in our building. And then last year, you know, we've had very limited professional development for our teachers. This year, we've been hitting it hard with, you know, training our teachers on how to teach virtually. So I think I've talked through most of this. I do want to circle back around to this homeroom time in our family groups. Again, we'll take attendance. We're going to focus on our social emotional learning and executive functioning skills. We will take the first 2 weeks in homeroom, really getting our students used to the platforms that we're using, making sure that they can use their Google Classroom, their calendars, and just really becoming proficient in understanding how to navigate the virtual world. We will again have 2 days of synchronous learning for most of our classes. If your child has an IEP, they will participate in more synchronous opportunities on Tuesday and Thursday as well. Fine Arts has some unique scheduling situations as well, where students may be participating in their fine arts on the days that are not assigned to be synchronous days. And it looks like I've already talked through the rest of this information. That the first couple weeks of school, we will really be focusing on getting to know our students, making sure that our students are connecting with their teachers and their classmates, and again, that learning of all of our systems. So as I said before, grading will count this year. We will continue to use our standards and proficiency-based grading. So we will be focusing on specific learning targets or concepts, and we will be grading students on their levels of proficiency for those concepts. Once we get all of those grades in, they will be averaged together to give the student a standard grade from our traditional grading scale that will show up on their report cards. So again, last spring, grades did not count, but we are holding students accountable for their grades this year. All right, so it's really, really important that we work together in supporting your child and our students. And so just so you know, it's really important. I think that as students get older, they start to want to be independent of their parents. But I think it's really important that parents recognize that they need you more than ever now. And so just make sure that you're there for your students, not just academically, but emotionally as well. I think it's really important. I've got a lot of experience in middle school now that we monitor our students' use of technology. I experience a lot of cyberbullying and just a lot of misuse of technology. So it's important to educate your children and monitor what they're doing on their devices. Please read through all the communication that we send out thoroughly. And connect with your teachers, email them regularly, check in on your student. We are asking our teachers to do the same. It's really highlights the importance of the partnership between our schools and families. So we do plan on communicating a lot, but as we send those communications out, please take a moment to read them. Also, help your child set up a workspace at home. Help them find a daily schedule that works for your family. So it's really important that students have structure. They feel safe with that structure and boundaries. And we're going to encourage our students as we talk with them about creating some workspaces. And I know it's easier in some homes than it is in others. But it's really important that they find the time and space where they can be students. Also, partner with your child's homeroom teacher and course specific teachers, and just again keep that communication up so that we can find a plan that works for your family. And if your child needs some support, if they're kind of struggling with the current situation or just being a middle school student, reach out to Mr. Mitchell, our middle school counselor, and we will provide the support that we can. So we do have, I spoke a little bit about monitoring technology. We have some systems in place through a program called BARK and Go Guardian that provide alerts to us. So if a child is using a school device or logged into a school account and they search for something that's inappropriate, we actually get an alert on that. Or if they are writing in a Google document and they're writing things about self-harm, we will get alerted. And so that helps us, kind of hone in on situations and check up. Most of the times they're minor situations, but sometimes they alert us to some real significant issues. And so these tools are really nice for us to help support our students. Encourage your student to use their school device for school only, to use their Google accounts for school only, and that they engage whenever they are in live synchronous sessions, that they use proper etiquette. And so our teachers will talk through what their policies and procedures are for each class. But please encourage your students to behave appropriately with their technology. So every student has an ICImagine email. It is their first name, last name at icimagine.org. If you need some help with that, you can email the child's homeroom teacher and Mr. Hunsicker, David Hunsicker, who's our technology director, and we can help make sure that your child is able to get into their email. Really almost everything that they do is linked to their Google account. So their Google Calendar, all of their Google Classroom. So it's really important that they know their logins, especially on day one. So your homeroom teachers should be emailing you with some Zoom links. Make sure that you've tried to log in. New families, I've sent you communication now regarding your child's email. So if you are struggling to get logged in, make sure that you reach out to us so we can help you get logged in before day one. We will also be sending out information about PowerSchool pretty soon, but PowerSchool is the program that we use to report grades, and it also allows parents to log in and see their children's grades. You can also get alerts through the app when teachers update grades and so on and so forth. So we will be sending home some letters here pretty soon. Some of you already have a PowerSchool a login from last year, but again, we'll send this information out pretty soon so that you can stay up to date on your child's grades. We will also make sure, I spoke to this earlier, but that our children can log into their Google Suite, and you as a parent can also sign up for alerts. So whenever you can kind of get a weekly review. It doesn't give you the details that it does students, but it does give you kind of a recap of the week. And we will be providing technology support. So if your Chromebook gets a cracked screen or a key falls off or it stops working, Mr. Hunsicker will be here on Mondays from 8:30 to 10:30 and Wednesdays from 3:30 to 5:30. There is a Sign Up Genius on our school website, and you can use that to make an appointment, to get some help with your technology. And as I said before, communication is going to be really, really important during these times. We can't be sending you home paper forms all the time, so we will be emailing you frequently, and it's going to be important that you check those emails regularly. We'll be communicating with your children as well, and the two-way communication is very, very important. So as I'm emphasizing the importance of communication on the parent side, I'm doing the same thing with my teachers. Because I know this is a partnership that we're in it together to help our students move forward. So we will be continuing to send out our weekly newsletters. So I'll share a note from myself and our new assistant principal, Mr. Rod Laws. Along with that, each teacher will be updating their section. This will be something that teachers are going over in their homerooms on Mondays. They will be actually sharing the newsletters with their students, so the students know what's happening, for the week. We will also continue to send out the whole school email communication on Thursdays that we've been sending, and we'll continue doing that throughout the beginning of the school year. And then we'll evaluate on whether we're going to scale that back. We will continue to send out our Imagination Insider, and we will update our Facebook and Instagram accounts. If there is any sort of urgent message that we'll send out, we'll send that via Remind. Again, you teachers will turn on parent notifications, and you can sign up for those for Google Classroom. Same thing for PowerSchool. And again, it's just really, really important that we all communicate to help support our students. All right, and here's a list of our staff. I'm not going to go through all of these. I am going to highlight we do have some new teachers. We also made some switches, so Mr. Blankenship and Mr. Barham have switched places. So Mr. Blankenship is now 6th grade social studies. Mr. Barham is now 7th grade social studies. We have added to our 7th grade team Rebecca Aronoff in ELA. We also have added Miss Yvonne Burke as an 8th grade science teacher. We have added to our EC department, Miss Emily Ayers is now supporting primarily 7th grade in our Exceptional Children's Program. Jenna Gudmundson is a new teacher in our EC department as well. And then we also have Kristen Buff joining us from lower school for our foundations of reading and math. In addition to that, we have a new assistant principal, Mr. Rod Laws, and if you need to reach out to someone and you need some support, you can contact myself or Mr. Laws. Again, if your child needs some mental health support, or if you have questions about 504 plans or any sort of family support, you can reach out to Mr. Mitchell. And technology, Mr. Hunsicker is our director of technology. You can email him. And you can email your homeroom teacher. The idea with our homeroom teachers, they are kind of your child's go-to person. So you can email your homeroom teacher for some general questions, and they can kind of direct you wherever they need to direct you. And then if you have course-specific information, go ahead and contact that course teacher. And emails are first name, last name at icimagine.org. If you are absent for any reason, you're going to reach out to attendance at icimagine.org, and in addition to the homeroom teacher. And if you have any concerns with your child, you can reach out to Mr. Vervain. He is the director of our Exceptional Children's Program. So if your child has an IEP, you can reach out to Mr. Vervain and get the support you need there. And that brings us to the end of the presentation. I will be sharing this again tomorrow in some live sessions, so feel free to join us at noon or 5 p.m. And I'm looking forward to seeing our students virtually this year, and I'm hopeful that we will get back in person sooner than later. All right, thank you.